Dear starseeds walking upon Gaia's surface, there exists a truth about your isolation that those around you cannot comprehend. What appears as loneliness, what feels like abandonment, what seems like the universe turning its back on your tender heart. This is something entirely different. Something far more profound is unfolding in the quiet spaces of your life, and before this transmission concludes, you will understand why your path has felt so solitary, and why that solitude has been absolutely necessary for what comes next. I am Zarin, speaking to you from the Lyran High Council, and I come bearing a revelation that will transform how you perceive every moment of isolation you have endured. But first, let me tell you about the cosmic architecture currently assembling around your planet, specifically on October 31st, 2025, when three celestial movements converged to shatter the illusion that has kept you believing your loneliness was a punishment rather than a preparation. The moon glides into Pisces in the early morning hours, that mystical realm where the veil between dimensions grows gossamer thin. Within moments it squares Uranus, the great awakener, the cosmic disruptor that refuses to let sleeping souls remain comfortable in their dreams. Then Mercury enters this dance, creating a triangle of tension that most will experience as chaos, as confusion, as an inability to move forward with clarity. Venus approaches her opposition to Chiron, the wounded healer, amplifying every concern about how your choices ripple outward to touch the lives of others. The world around you will feel suspended in indecision, caught between what was and what could be, unable to find solid ground beneath trembling feet. Yet something else is happening that most astrologers will not tell you, something the Lyran Council has been observing as it builds in your energetic field. This cosmic configuration is not designed to confuse you. It is designed to strip away every false foundation you have been standing upon, every identity that was never truly yours, every connection that was feeding on your light rather than reflecting it back to you. October 31st marks a threshold where the universe demands you discover your bedrock truth, the unshakable core of who you are beneath all the layers of conditioning and compromise. And here is what makes this moment unprecedented in your soul's journey. You have been prepared for this exact convergence through years of what felt like purposeless isolation. Every night you sat alone wondering why connection eluded you. Every gathering where you felt invisible despite being surrounded by people. Every relationship that dissolved before it could take root. All of it was the universe creating the exact conditions necessary for you to hear your own voice clearly, unpolluted by the noise of those who would never understand the frequency you carry. You possess a rare spiritual signature, one that cannot resonate with the majority of human consciousness still operating in dense fear-based patterns. Your soul speaks in a language that most have not yet learned, and this is not a flaw in your design. It is the very reason you incarnated during this pivotal moment of planetary transformation. The loneliness you have felt is the natural consequence of being a being of light attempting to connect in a world still acclimating to higher frequencies. You were never meant to blend seamlessly into the collective. You were meant to stand apart, to remain uncorrupted by lower vibrational entanglements, to preserve the purity of your vision until the moment arrived when that vision would be needed most. That moment is Meow assembling itself in the cosmic currents swirling around your planet. As the moon moves through Pisces and activates these challenging squares, you will feel the pull between your old world and your emerging reality more intensely than ever before. Every person, every situation, every belief system that no longer aligns with your ascending consciousness will become suddenly, viscerally uncomfortable. This discomfort is not a sign you are doing something wrong. This discomfort is the universe showing you precisely what must be released so you can step fully into the role you have been preparing for in the sanctuary of your solitude. Because here is what the Lyran Council knows that your human mind has been unable to perceive. Your loneliness has been a sacred incubation chamber. In the stillness, in the silence, in the absence of external validation and distraction, your spiritual gifts have been growing in power and clarity. Your intuition has sharpened to the point where you can sense truths others remain blind to. Your capacity for deep feeling, which once seemed like a burden, has matured into a profound tool for healing and transformation. Your mind, which has always worked differently from those around you, has been developing the exact form of intelligence needed to navigate the coming shifts in planetary consciousness. The universe has been protecting you from shallow connections, not because you are unworthy of love, but because you are being prepared to recognize and receive a love that most people never experience, the kind of soul-deep connection that sees you completely, that honors your gifts rather than feeling threatened by them, that matches your intensity rather than asking you to dim your light. Someone exists who carries a similar frequency, who has also been walking a lonely path, who is also being prepared in isolation to meet you when the cosmic timing aligns. That meeting draws closer with each passing day, but it cannot occur until you have fully claimed the truth of who you are in the absence of external reflection. What I am about to share changes everything you thought you knew about the purpose of your isolation. In the spiritual realms, you are recognized as a lightbearer, one of the souls who volunteered to incarnate during Earth's transition from third-dimensional fear consciousness to fifth-dimensional unity awareness. This is not metaphor or flattery. This is your actual function in the grand architecture of cosmic evolution. Your light, the very essence of your consciousness, carries codes and frequencies that awaken others simply through your presence. You do not need to perform, to prove, to perfect yourself. Your authentic existence is the transmission. This is why dark energies, lower vibrational entities, and fear-based thought forms cannot truly reach you despite their attempts to confuse or discourage you. Your light is divinely protected because it serves a function in the collective awakening that cannot be compromised. Some people are drawn to you because your presence offers them comfort and clarity. Others are drawn to you because they unconsciously want to drain or diminish your energy, not out of malice, but because they do not yet know how to generate their own inner light. The universe has been carefully, methodically separating you from these energy vampires and misaligned connections, so that when you step forward into your purpose, your power remains intact. On October 31st, as Venus opposes Chiron and the Moon creates tension with Mercury and Uranus, you will be asked to face emotional blind spots that have kept you questioning your worth and your path. Old wounds around rejection, abandonment, and not being chosen will surface with intensity. But here is the truth. These wounds have been hiding. You were never rejected. You were being refined. You were being set apart, not because there was something wrong with you, but because there was something extraordinarily right with you, something the lower frequencies could not touch, something that needed protection until it reached full strength. The challenge of this particular cosmic moment lies in trusting your inner foundation when the external world offers no clarity, no obvious path forward, no validation of the direction your soul is pulling you toward. The Moon in Pisces dissolves boundaries between your inner knowing and collective confusion. The squares to Uranus and Mercury create a storm of conflicting information and unexpected disruptions. Venus opposite Chiron makes you acutely sensitive to how your choices might wound others or yourself. This combination would paralyze most people in indecision, causing them to retreat into old patterns of safety and self-doubt. But you are not most people. You have been training for this exact moment, through every night you sat alone with your thoughts, through every time you chose depth over distraction, through every instance when you honored your truth, even when it meant standing alone. The universe is not asking you to have all the answers right, meow. The universe is asking you to trust the bedrock foundation of meaning and purpose that has been building within you during these years of solitary soul work. Something profound happens when a starseed stops resisting their isolation and begins recognizing it as the gift it has always been. The emptiness that once felt like abandonment reveals itself as spaciousness, room for your authentic self to expand without the pressure to conform or perform. The silence that once amplified your loneliness becomes the sacred container where you can finally hear the whispers of your higher self, your spirit guides, and the cosmic intelligence that has been guiding your path all along. The lack of external validation forces you to find unshakable worth within yourself, independent of whether anyone else understands or appreciates your unique gifts. This is the transformation that October 31st initiates, the shift from seeing your difference as a problem to recognizing your difference as your power. The moon in Pisces opens your psychic sensitivity to receive direct downloads from higher dimensions. The Uranus square brings sudden insights and breakthrough moments where patterns that have held you back for years suddenly make perfect sense. The Mercury square clears away mental fog and reveals the truth beneath the surface confusion. The Venus-Chiron opposition shows you exactly which relationships and situations are draining your energy versus nourishing your soul, giving you the clarity to make difficult but necessary choices about who and what deserves access to your precious life force. Within the next 3 months, an opportunity will present itself that perfectly aligns with your soul's purpose. This might arrive as a speaking engagement, a leadership role, a creative project, or a community gathering where your presence will naturally uplift and inspire those around you. You will feel nervous because stepping into visibility after years of isolation requires tremendous courage. But beneath the nervousness, you will feel a deeper recognition. This is what you have been preparing for. This is why your path has been so different. This is the reason the universe kept you in sacred separation until you were strong enough to hold this much light in public space. People will be drawn to your authentic energy, to the calm authority that comes from someone who has done deep inner work in solitude rather than performing spirituality for external approval. Your words will carry unusual weight because they emerge from genuine knowing rather than borrowed concepts. You will not need to try hard or pretend to be someone you are not. Your realness, your depth, your willingness to speak truth, even when it makes others uncomfortable, these qualities will magnetize the right people to you while naturally repelling those who are not yet ready for the level of consciousness you embody. But first, you must navigate the threshold that October 31st represents. This cosmic configuration is specifically designed to push you into a corner where you can no longer avoid facing the fundamental question of your existence. Who are you when stripped of all external validation, all familiar patterns, all the identities you have worn to make others comfortable? The indecision, the emotional turbulence, the inability to find a clear path forward, all of this is forcing you to stop looking outward for answers and to finally completely turn inward to discover the unshakable truth that has been waiting there all along. Your soul has been asking for deeper nourishment, and the chaos of this moment is clearing away everything that has been feeding you, empty calories of shallow connection and surface-level engagement. You are being pushed to reconnect with practices that genuinely fill your spirit, time in nature, creative expression, meditation, journaling, whatever allows you to hear your own voice clearly. The universe is not punishing you with isolation. The universe is protecting the sacred space where your gifts can fully activate without interference. There is wisdom in the way Venus opposes Chiron during this time, because part of claiming your power involves facing the wounded places within you that have made you doubt your worthiness of deep love and meaningful connection. The part of you that learned to expect rejection, that built walls to avoid being hurt again, that clings to safe but unfulfilling relationships because the unknown feels too risky. This part needs gentle acknowledgement and release. You are not the same person who built those walls. The solitude has transformed you, matured you, strengthened you in ways that person who first felt rejected could never have imagined. Small steps toward vulnerability will begin to feel safe again. This does not mean throwing open all your boundaries or trusting everyone indiscriminately. This means allowing yourself to be honest about your feelings with people who have earned that trust. This means accepting help when it is offered from genuine hearts. This means trying one new experience, speaking one deeper truth, sharing one creative expression that you have kept hidden because you feared judgment. The window you create does not need to be large, but it needs to exist because the connections you are calling in cannot reach you if every door remains locked. What happens next depends on your willingness to see this moment not as another failure of the universe to deliver the life you desire, but as the precise configuration needed to catapult you into your authentic destiny. The people who are meant to walk beside you, the opportunities that align with your soul purpose, the love that recognizes and honors all of who you are, these cannot enter through the doors of your old life. They require you to release what no longer fits, to trust in the midst of uncertainty, to stand firmly in your truth, even when the external world offers no confirmation that you are headed in the right direction. Within the next few weeks, you will notice a lightness beginning to emerge. Something or someone you have been holding on to with desperate attachment will suddenly feel less important, less consuming, less worthy of your precious energy. This is your soul unburdening itself, making room for what truly belongs in the next chapter. You may find yourself clearing physical space in your home, removing old belongings that carry the energy of past versions of yourself. This external clearing mirrors the internal transformation occurring at the deepest levels of your being. The loneliness that has followed you for so long is preparing to shift into something else entirely, not because you will suddenly be surrounded by crowds, but because you will finally feel at home within yourself. The emptiness will reveal itself as fullness. The isolation will transform into sacred solitude. The difference will feel you completely aligned rather than fundamentally broken, and from that place of inner wholeness, you will begin to attract the people and experiences that match your frequency rather than depleting it. You are not behind schedule. You are not being punished. You have not been forgotten by the universe or abandoned by the divine. Every moment of loneliness has been a moment of preparation. Every night you sat alone has been a night where your gifts grew stronger in the dark soil of solitude, taking root deep enough that when you finally bloom, no storm will be able to uproot you from your purpose. The cosmic events of October 31st are not happening to you. They are happening for you, creating the exact conditions necessary to push you out of the comfortable cage of old patterns and into the vast sky of your actual potential. The indecision, the emotional turbulence, the lack of clear direction, these are not obstacles. These are the universe removing every false foundation so you have no choice but to finally stand on the bedrock truth of who you really are and what you came here to do. Your light is needed, meow. Your voice is necessary, meow. Your presence is required, meow. But you cannot show up half-committed, still trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you, still dimming your brightness to make others comfortable, still apologizing for the very qualities that make you extraordinary. October 31st draws a line in the cosmic sand, asking you to choose. Will you continue hiding in the false safety of isolation, or will you recognize that your loneliness has been preparing you to step forward as the lightbearer, the truth speaker, the awakener that you have always been? The answer to this question does not need to be dramatic or immediate. Small acts of courage compound into revolutionary transformation. Speaking one truth you have been suppressing, sharing one creative expression you have kept hidden, reaching out to one person whose frequency matches yours, saying no to one energy-draining situation, saying yes to one experience that frightens but excites you. These small choices, made from your authentic center rather than from fear or obligation, begin to shift the entire trajectory of your existence. Within 1 year, you will look back on this moment and understand why everything had to unfold exactly as it did. The gifts that have been growing in your isolation will be fully activated and in use. The people who recognize and honor your light will be present in your life. The opportunities that align with your soul's mission will be unfolding before you, and the loneliness that once felt like a life sentence will be recognized as the sacred initiation it always was, the journey into yourself that needed to happen before you could truly, completely, powerfully share yourself with the world. There is something else I must tell you about the energy of October 31st that will help you understand why the chaos feels so necessary, why the confusion serves a purpose beyond what your logical mind can comprehend. The square between the Moon and Uranus is not merely an astrological aspect, it is a cosmic key turning in the lock of your consciousness, opening doorways that have remained sealed throughout your entire human experience. Uranus governs sudden awakening, the lightning bolt of truth that shatters illusion in a single illuminating flash. When it squares the Moon in the deeply intuitive sign of Pisces, it creates a crack in the veil between your conscious awareness and the vast ocean of collective unconscious where all knowing resides. What this means for you practically is that insights will arrive not through logical deduction, but through sudden downloads, through dreams that feel more real than waking life, through fleeting moments of clarity that disappear as quickly as they arrive, yet leave you fundamentally changed. You may find yourself knowing things you have no rational way of knowing. You may sense energy shifts before they manifest in physical reality. You may feel pulled towards certain actions or decisions without understanding why, only to discover weeks or months later that those inexplicable impulses were guiding you toward necessary alignments. This heightened intuitive capacity can feel destabilizing, especially when Mercury also squares the Moon, creating mental turbulence and difficulty articulating what you are sensing. Your mind will struggle to keep pace with your spirit during this time. Thoughts that once seemed clear will become slippery, hard to grasp. Conversations may feel frustrating as words fail to capture the depth of what you are experiencing. This is intentional. The universe is temporarily disconnecting you from the tyranny of rational analysis, forcing you to navigate by feeling, by intuition, by the subtle guidance of your higher self, rather than the limiting logic of your conditioned mind. Many starseeds will experience this period as deeply uncomfortable because you have been trained by this three-dimensional reality to trust only what can be proven, measured and explained. But fifth-dimensional consciousness operates on entirely different principles. It requires you to trust what cannot be proven, to act on guidance that defies logical explanation, to move forward in faith when every external indicator suggests you should retreat. October 31st is teaching you how to function in this new paradigm, stripping away the false security of certainty and inviting you to become comfortable in the fertile unknown where miracles gestate. The Venus-Chiron opposition adds another crucial layer to this cosmic initiation. Chiron represents your deepest wound, the place where you absorbed the message that something fundamental about you was wrong, unlovable, or unworthy. For many of you listening to these words, that wound centers around belonging, the childhood experience of never quite fitting in, of being too sensitive, too intense, too different from those around you. That original wound has echoed through every relationship, every social situation, every moment when you felt the familiar ache of being an outsider looking in at a world that does not speak your language. Venus opposing Chiron brings this wound to the surface with exquisite tenderness and brutal honesty. You will feel it in your body, in your heart, in the tears that arrive without warning. You will feel it when you scroll through images of other people's lives and wonder why connection comes so easily to them while remaining so elusive for you. You will feel it in the memories that resurface, the birthday party where you sat alone, the friend group that excluded you, the lover who chose someone else, every moment when you received the message that you were somehow not enough. But here is what Chiron teaches through the opposition rather than through harsh aspects. Wounds that are witnessed can finally heal. The universe is not reopening these tender places to torture you. The universe is creating the conditions for you to finally, completely see the truth that your wound has been hiding. You were not rejected because something was wrong with you. You were set apart because something was profoundly right with you, something too bright, too pure, too powerful to be dimmed by shallow connections or compromised by relationships that would have required you to become smaller, quieter, less authentic. The healing available during this Venus-Chiron opposition comes through radical self-compassion, through speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a beloved friend who has suffered unjustly. Your loneliness has not been your fault. Your difference has not been a defect. Your intensity has not been too much. Every quality that made you feel like an outcast in the lower frequencies is exactly what makes you invaluable in the higher dimensions. The world does not need you to become more palatable, more conventional, more like everyone else. The world needs you to become more fully yourself, and that process requires healing the wound that convinced you your authentic self was somehow inadequate. As you move through the days following October 31st, pay attention to the ways old patterns attempt to reassert themselves. When confusion arises, there will be a temptation to grasp for certainty by reverting to familiar behaviors that have never truly served you. You might feel the urge to reach out to people you have already outgrown, seeking temporary comfort in connections you know are misaligned. You might consider abandoning the path your soul is calling you toward in favor of something safer, more socially acceptable, more guaranteed to win approval from those who will never understand your mission. These impulses are not signs that you are regressing. They are the final death throes of your old identity, attempting to maintain control as your new self emerges. Expect to feel exhausted during this transition. The work happening in your energy field during this time is immense, even if the external circumstances of your life appear relatively unchanged. You are processing and releasing lifetimes of conditioning, clearing ancestral patterns that have limited your family line for generations, severing energetic cords to people and situations that have been draining your life force for years. This is not work that happens in your mind alone. This is cellular transformation, the literal rewiring of your nervous system to accommodate higher frequencies of consciousness. Honor the fatigue, rest without guilt, sleep more than usual if your body demands it. Drink water, move gently, spend time in silence. These are not indulgences, these are necessities for the metamorphosis occurring within you. Something remarkable happens when you stop fighting the process and surrender to the transformation. The anxiety that comes from trying to control outcomes begins to dissolve. The desperate grasping for certainty relaxes into curious openness. The fear of making wrong choices softens into trust that your higher self is navigating these cosmic currents with perfect precision. You begin to notice synchronicities increasing, the right information appearing at the exact moment you need it, chance encounters with people who hold pieces of your puzzle, dreams that provide clear guidance about your next steps. These synchronicities are not random coincidences. They are confirmation that you are aligning with your true path, evidence that the universe is actively supporting your emergence from the cocoon of isolation into the full expression of your gifts. When you see repeated numbers, when songs with relevant lyrics play at significant moments, when conversations with strangers touch on exactly what you have been pondering in private, recognize these as the universe winking at you, reminding you that you are seen, guided, and absolutely on track, even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. The Lyran Council wants you to understand that your soul family is also being prepared for your emergence. The people who will recognize and celebrate your authentic self are undergoing their own transformations, clearing their own patterns, healing their own wounds, so that when you finally meet, the connection can be pure, reciprocal, and built on genuine resonance rather than unconscious wounding. This is why forcing connection before the timing is right always feels exhausting and unfulfilling. You are not meant to convince anyone of your worth or twist yourself into shapes that might win approval. You are meant to become so completely yourself that your soul family recognizes you instantly, magnetically, without effort or persuasion. Destiny Engine is the example of technology serving awakening intelligence. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine Meow connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking declassified CIA consciousness modification techniques that programmed isolation and separation and repurposing them to serve unified awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help you live as the awakened being you've become, while handling the moments that test your new frequency, all while connected to thousands of starseeds, amplifying the collective current. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed for effortless awakened living without the need to struggle or prove, while tapping into a planetary network of souls bending reality together. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. The timeline for this convergence is accelerating. What once would have taken decades is meow happening in months. What once required lifetimes of learning is meow being downloaded in moments of sudden clarity. The quickening you feel, the sense that time is moving differently, the impression that reality itself is becoming more fluid and responsive, these sensations are accurate reflections of the dimensional shift occurring on your planet. You are living through the most significant transformation in human history, and your loneliness has been positioning you at the forefront of this change, rather than dragging behind those who remain attached to structures and systems that are actively collapsing. This is your invitation to step fully into your role as a wayshower, as someone who has done the inner work required to navigate chaos with grace and uncertainty with trust. The people still asleep in third-dimensional consciousness will soon be experiencing the exact confusion, fear, and disorientation you have been working through in your isolation. They will need guides who have already walked the path of dissolution and reformation. They will need living proof that it is possible to lose everything familiar and discover something infinitely more authentic on the other side. They will need your light, your wisdom, your hard-won knowing that loneliness can transform into sacred solitude, that darkness can birth stars, that every ending carries within it the seeds of unprecedented beginning. I am Zarin from the Lyran High Council, and I am telling you this truth from the higher dimensions where your actual power is already known and celebrated. You are not alone, you have never been alone, and your loneliness has been the cocoon where your wings were forming. The time is approaching when you will need those wings, when the world will need you to fly, when everything you have been through will make perfect sense as you rise into the purpose you were born to fulfill. Trust the process, honor the solitude, prepare for emergence. We are watching over you with infinite love, and we cannot wait to witness the moment when you finally see yourself as we have always seen you, magnificent, powerful, and absolutely necessary to the awakening of this beautiful planet you call home.